Hey, I'm Ryan Brown. I'm the director of the Masters Academy of Art, and we're just making a video today to show basic materials for our copy drawing class. This video will cover any material you'll need for the copy drawing class, for Tuesday, Thursday night short pose figure drawing, and if you were going to do like a long pose figure drawing in pencil, that's what we're going to talk about real quickly in this video. So we'll start with the paper. For copy drawing, this is what the setup looks like here. See that? You have the master copy here and the student's work here. So we'll talk about paper real quick. The paper that we use is the Stonehenge paper. This is a full sheet of Stonehenge. We use the color pearl gray. So you can see that this is maybe an eighth of a sheet of the Stonehenge. We just cut it down to size, so you can get quite a bit of use out of one sheet. This would be a quarter sheet of Stonehenge. This is a finished copy drawing by one of our students. So that's the paper. It's pretty simple. I think it might be around $2.50 per sheet, depending on where you get it. You also need to get a little teardrop fishing weight. You can get these at Walmart, or most basic stores will have little fishing weights like that. We also use as our plumb line this Gorilla 50-pound test, which is just fishing line, and it's really nice because it doesn't stretch. There's no give. We use this for measuring. For students here at the Masters Academy, we provide this, so you don't have to get this for yourself. But if you're setting up a drawing on your own, you can get a spool of this. It'll last you forever. There's a lot on here. That's what we use for our plumb lines. And you can see the way that we use this is, you can see that, to just tape it on the board directly on the drawing. For those of you who are setting this up on your own, we also have a couple of videos that talk about how to set up a bark drawing properly and how to start a bark drawing properly. So you can see this whole setup on another YouTube video. Another nice thing to have is a little 3" by 5" mirror. You can get these at any glass shop. Just have them cut it for you. And then, it's a good idea to have them sand down the edges, because you're going to hold this up to your face to check your drawings quite often. And then we just suggest that you tape the back, because eventually you're going to drop this and you don't want it to shatter. So these mirrors, besides being 3 by 5 inches, you want them to be about a 1/16 of an inch thick. Any thicker than that, it distorts the image just a little bit. This gives us a little bit clearer image when we're checking our drawings. A roll of blue painter's tape. If you're coming to be a student at the Masters Academy, this is the only thing that ends up being everyone can use these. Once you bring it in the studio, everybody's using it. Otherwise, everything's yours and none of the other students touch it. But blue tape ends up becoming a kind of community property. The pencils that we use are drafting pencils, and you can get these on Amazon. A lot of art stores carry them too, but I suggest the Staedtler brand. We'll list that at the bottom of the video, how to spell that. It holds a 2 millimeter lead, and the lead just comes in and out like this. So you can switch leads out. I like to have a couple of different, because I can have a harder lead in one and a softer lead in another. I don't have to keep switching them out. But you really only need one of these lead holders. And then you want to get some lead. You can either get packages like this, or they come in smaller packages like this. You definitely want and need 2H hardness, HB, and 2B hardness, at least those, if not getting into some 4B, and I don't think you'll need harder than 2H or maybe 4H, but you can get these in different brands. Different brands kind of vary as to, like, a 2H in one brand may feel different than a 2H in another brand, but again, you can get Staedtler brand as a pretty solid brand. You can find these on Amazon as well. Another pencil I like to have that isn't necessary, but is nice to have just because it's a little bit more precise, is this Graphic Gear 500 0.7 millimeter lead. It's just a tinier lead. You don't have to sharpen it ever. These leads end up being a lot softer, so these are really nice for like accent lines or really precise use. For the 2 millimeter pencils, the sharpener that you want looks like this, and there's a lot of different, I don't know if there's a lot of different brands, but there's different brands that look like this. The one you want, again, is the Staedtler brand. Other brands tend to stick when these swirl around to sharpen your lead, and when they stick, it breaks your lead, gets really annoying. The Staedtler brand tends not to do that. So you'll need a sharpener. You can get a paper stump like this. They're not necessary. Some people like to use them if you want to experiment with it. They're pretty cheap. You can get one of those as well. A basic kneaded eraser you'll need. These are a little bit easier to control, and you can shape them however you want, and they're a little bit more delicate with the paper than like hard rubber erasers, so you'll need a kneaded eraser. And then some people like to use brushes along with like a stump just to kind of soften edges or whatever. Obviously, if you're going to use a brush, you should use a Rosemary brush because they're the best. This one is a long flat series 279. It doesn't really matter what you use. You can use a synthetic or whatever, but just something soft to kind of smooth out some of your lines on the paper. Again, this is not a necessary tool. If you want it, you can get it, but not necessary. I think that might be it. Oh, the boards that we use here, you can get these at Home Depot. It's just a 24-inch by 48-inch masonite board. MDF, masonite is the name brand. MDF is the generic term for just like a particle board or press board, or I don't know what you call it. But you want 1/4 inch thick. You'd like it to be smooth on both sides. They have some that are kind of textured on one side. Those are a little bit more flimsy. So a 2 foot by 4 foot board, you'll use, at the Masters Academy, we use these for bargue drawing. We use them for, as you can see, for cast drawing, for figure drawing. So you'd probably, if you're going to do just copy drawing, you only need one of these. If you're going to do copy drawing and figure drawing, you'll need 2. And they have these pre-cut, at least here they have them pre-cut at our Home Depot for like $6 or something. And I think that's it. That's it for the materials. It's really basic to start with your copy drawing course here. So that's it.